from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Spend your whole lifetime working to build house and family. You approaching now, you done reach 60. Now it's time to be happy. Spend your money once you're hungry. Just study a thing but price. Just leave us something to get buried. Time for pensioners to live nice. If you're feeling for pork chops and lobsters, eat what you want to eat. Now it's brandy and whiskey you're drinking, and every fact you meet start up this. Spend your money, bend your back. Don't make a cry, just keep your back when you're dancing. In this soca fit when you're dancing, and you start to spread, pop your champagne, dye your hair. Now it's time to cock up your rear when you're dancing. In this soca fit when you're dancing, and you start to sweat. Spend your pension and NIS. Buy clothes and look the best. Pay your bills and get God thanks. Don't leave no set of money in the bank. Not because you retire, that don't mean you expire. Not because you retire, that don't mean you expire. Groove, play the music. It's back on all time. Come in. Party sun or rain, start to dress and pick up your cane. The Different from town to the country, no more clocking card again. To make them secure with grandchildren, now it's time to be happy. Once you're taking any grant from them, make sure it's currency. As you reach the month of October, you're so cool in the date. Take your phone, call up a partner, lock the door, open the gate, spend your money, bend your back. Don't make arthritis keep your back when you're dancing in the soca fit. When you're dancing and you start to sweat, pop your champagne, dye your hair. Now it's time to cock up your hair when you're dancing in the soca fit. When you're dancing and you start to sweat, spend your pension and NIS, buy clothes and look the best, pay your bills and give God thanks. Don't leave no set of money in the bank, not because you retire. That don't mean you expire. Not because you retire. That don't mean you expire. Ruben, we'll taught them how to party. We took them to Peace Carnival, remember that? Watch me. Hear this. They always talking about your pension, asking you for the PIN card. They want to carry you to the doctor, but your house they want it bad. When they ask who getting property, who treat you best, you want them know. And when they home, sit down and plotting, you win the first time you winding low. Tell them you need a driver to take back you and your wife. And it's the whole night you're drinking, you are taking no chance with your life. Spend your money, bend your back. Don't make arthritis keep your back when you're dancing in the soca fit. When you're dancing and you start to sweat, pop your champagne, dye your hair. Now it's time to cock up your hair when you're dancing in the soca fit. When you're dancing and you start to sweat, spend your pension and NIS, buy clothes and look the best, pay your bills and give God thanks. Don't leave no set of money in the bank, not because you retire. That don't mean you expire. Not because you retire. That don't mean you expire.
Wake up, rise up. It's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Bringing you the energy, music and vibes to start your day right.
Play music back. They're calling we all.
Not because you retire. Don't let nobody feel that you expire.
Play music back.
Spend your money like yourself.
Be ready to make no will.
Eat and drink where you want.
Play music back.
Hey, everybody good. Good Monday morning to you.
Ready to make no will.
Yes, it is a Monday. Don't run down the week. Take it easy.
They're calling we all.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Good morning, Trinidad, Tobago. Good morning to our neighbors in the Caribbean. How are you doing? Everything good? Everything nice? Good morning to our friends and our families who are streaming all around the globe in your different time zones, in different spaces. Are they getting ready for Carnival? Are they coming? Are they coming? It is a beautiful Monday morning. It is the 12th day of January. Tell you what a wonderful month. And I want to take the opportunity to welcome everybody to the breakfast show here on New Era TT Radio. New Era TT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. And yes, we take you above and beyond. Thank you so much. Thanks as always to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. And everything that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing unto you. Sir Charles, that is me. Happy am I to be here with you with the team. Trust me, all in a good space, you know. Good space. This is your Get Up and Go. Welcome everybody to the breakfast show.
It's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Okay, good morning, everybody. We are here. If all you're not here as yet, only get here quick. Good morning, guys.
Hi, good morning. Good morning to our listeners and viewers, wherever you are across the planet. And of course, we know you have a choice in what you watch on an early morning, and we're glad you chose us or what you listen to. And of course, good morning to my co-hosts, Wendell and Sir Charles. Good morning, guys, on this Monday morning.
A beautiful Monday it is. Good morning, Wendell.
Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. A special good morning to our listeners and viewers out there in Tobago, where you go to the polls now, starting now, for the THA elections. 15 districts are up for grabs today. So good luck, and hope you all have an absolutely successfully run THA elections. All right? I don't think these elections have observers and things like that, right? I didn't hear any kind of bacchanal like that, observers and things.
I ain't hear nobody asking.
I haven't heard any polling either of the
No, they haven't done any polling really.
Yeah, usually you get some level of poll, but I don't know how much you get it for THA elections. Like NACTA polls, and stuff like that.
They normally do it.
But you haven't heard anything. You haven't heard any. In fact, you haven't heard any polling of anything for a while.
True.
Sometimes they poll general, sentiment on different issues. You haven't heard anything for a while about any side of polling.
We're the only ones doing polling.
Well, I'm sure there may be other shows that do it.
No, that's not doing it.
A kind of microcosmic way.
The poll and stuff, I think most media houses do their polls.
Oh Lord, I was trying to push NETT Radio out front, y'all.
But it is.
Them other people they have poll, we have poll.
But they
Are we have a poll maker?
They might have rod. They may have poll.
Oh Lord.
But I mean, strangely, but you haven't heard anything, so you have absolutely no sense of what's happening on the ground in Tobago. I don't know if we could get one of those political analysts from Tobago, like Dr. Winston George.
Winsford James.
Winsford James.
Winsford
James.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
or
know.
even Varnas James. You haven't heard anything from him in a while too.
Yeah. I don't have their contact information.
Yeah.
I was looking for it yesterday and I was like, but it's, to see, give a sense of what's on the ground in their opinion.
Yeah. I know I saw a video circulating yesterday of a bit of a bacchanal. I mean, that is all the videos that circulated. You see some woman with a knife and then a man getting slapped down in a drain. And I saw, that's the only videos I've seen, actually. Videos of some sort of confrontation sometimes between people, Well,
that one with the woman and the conversation between the PNM and the TTP woman, we saw that one because that was on news. That was on news. But,
it was on news too? Okay.
Yeah, that was on news.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when the rum get in the bacchanal.
Rum? That can't be rum.
But we don't even know if it was that. It seemed to be you weren't really sure what caused the confrontation. Someone saying it was the TPP flag. The TPP flag was grabbed out of the car that was passing. The PNM supporter said they didn't grab it; it fell out. But somebody burned the flag on the ground. I don't know. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was the PNM people. But anyway, one of the driver of the vehicle, it seemed like, jumped out of the car and there was a confrontation, and then maybe I think she had a knife in her hand, and they get vexed and they come and they start to push and shove.
Who had the knife? The PNM person?
No, the TVP person. Like, because there was a lot of back and forth between them before she got out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't extremely clear, at least when I was watching it. Maybe I was distracted, but for me it was a little confusing. But so you don't know, you don't know who was at fault or if both parties were at fault in a kind of way. I don't. But the TVP woman did come out. It seemed like a knife in her hand, and that was the report. And then the other woman got.
But nobody was injured, right?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah. I saw still pictures. I didn't see the video. So I couldn't describe it the way you were describing it. Yeah. All right. Well,
because CNC3 was there. They were kind of like in the area at the time. So they were, it wasn't a bystander filming, I think. I think it was actually.
It was the actual media house?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That's the impression I got from Akash.
All right. Interesting. But I know we have to go into good news there, but there's a story that disturbed my spirit this morning. That story of the hiker who drowned the lady. That disturbed every part of me this morning. Because if that story that I read is accurate, then somebody should answer for the death of that lady. Somebody should answer for the death of that. I know that nobody deliberately, I know that it's not a deliberate situation, but questions have to be answered in terms of a hike with clearly bad weather. And if I have to read that story, when I read that story, it's accurate that she, when crossing the river, became lodged between two logs at knee-high water, okay? And then they were trying to get out and couldn't, and left her. After the water started to rise, they left her. No. That story really disturbed me. You should read it yourself. I wouldn't read it on the air, but it is a very, very sad situation. You know what I mean? So condolences to that family who lost their loved one, who paid and to go on a hike and ended up not returning from the hike. You know?
Because they retrieved her body. But
yes.
There are conflicting reports on that, because I saw that story that you read where they said she was lodged and as they were passing and they were trying to get her out, but the water rose because of the weather and it rose rapidly and it covered her, and the other hikers had to retrieve to higher ground and they weren't sure what to do, and eventually they eventually reported it to police, and the hunters group, they eventually retrieved the body.
Yeah.
But another hiker did a video on it, but not of this group, but like another leader in another group, and she was very upset about it. But she didn't say that she was lodged and all of that. She said that they were going through a part which she referred to as a gorge in Brasso Seco. It's a Brasso Seco hike, and she said that there's a point at which you could like jump into the water and something like that. And she was told that she could jump. This is what this other hiker is saying, right? I don't know if this is true or not. And she was saying, you can't tell somebody to jump as a hiker into water unless there's somebody else in the water in case of anything.
Yes.
So somebody else has to be there who's experienced with the hike. And you can't just let her jump. And she jumped apparently, and she said that she didn't resurface. And that's why they panicked. So it's a different version of the story, in a sense. And she said, well, and did she have a life jacket on? And was it a properly strapped life jacket? Or was it, a flimsy one that flew off as she jumped? What was it? What happened? And she was berating the hike leader of that hike because on the following day he was on another hike. And she was saying how you could go on another hike when you should be helping to retrieve the woman.
Yeah.
You know, but she was eventually retrieved. So I don't know which version is correct, because she gave a version and she was upset and she was saying that in their group they always have, you know, lifeguards or people skilled in that as part of the group because safety is so important.
But I mean, your the two versions then really begs that someone could, that people should be responsible.
But she was given a version, obviously, that she wasn't there, so it was obviously a version that was reported to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing in the papers. So when I'm reading the papers today, I was like, well, okay, this is a little different to what I heard from her post. She did a social media post.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, she's very popular in terms of hiking and stuff like that. But in any case, I mean, the situation is tragic. Somebody's lost their life that went on a hike, which is, you know, considered a healthy form of recreational activity. And there has to be a point. And the girl who was talking yesterday, she talked about certification and if are people certified and all that sort of thing. I have no idea about hiking, so I can't speak to that at all. What kind of certification you could have at all, I have no clue. All I want to know is that if I'm going on a hike with a group, you better be experienced about everything that you meet on a hike.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't trust that you're very experienced about anything that I can meet on a hike, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, that thing that you're raising there has been raised before, you know, because we have been through this in the past.
You know? Yes, we have been.
I remember the last time we had a tragic situation where they talked about that certification and persons who are and clubs who are keeping hikes and that sort of thing. But at some point in time, that person who is in charge, if weather conditions and all things start to change, we must have somebody at some point who can say, this hike has to be aborted.
Yeah, I taken that course. I will take that course.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people will be upset and say, oh, what are you going to do that? We pay for this, that. You know, that'll be but I taken that.
Yeah. Somebody has to be, you know, has that sort of experience, recognizing, look, where we going, that this weather changing, or they look, and or even to say to people, hey, so and so stay out the water because of, so, you know, you must have somebody with that kind of experience outside there, man.
Anyway.
It's sounding too amateurish.
That's exactly how it sounds. Very amateurish. You know, and the one hike that I did through water, there was a rope for you to hold on. Even though you could walk knee-high water, there was still a rope that you could hold on to going through, because because you're walking on rocks, you're on steady ground. So, and not everybody have steady legs. So there is something that you could hold on to in case. You know, but it's an extremely sad story, and but it's part of the news. So we'll do the good news now to get you back in the breakfast mood.
Oh, I would.
To get you back in the breakfast mood. The weather has changed back to nice sunny weather, so let's hope it remains so for the rest of the week, because we are officially in the dry season. And as the announced dry season, rain came.
Beautiful rain. All right, so good news straight ahead.
so that was all good news for this morning. St. Joshua Regalo, of course, he's visiting all of these 7 wonders of the world and performing at each. So, anytime one of those videos crops up, I always say, I'm going to play that.
Yeah. Always good to see and hear, Joshua.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice video.
Well,
I like that. That just make you feel good. If you wasn't feeling good this morning, trust me, that video would have made you feel real good. Real proud too.
Yep.
Anyway, let's greet the folks in our chat. Today, of course, is January, is it 13th? 12.
Yeah, 12.
What's I know today has a significant day. Oh, happy birthday to Daniel Piper up there in Sangre Grande. I'm sure she's listening. Alderman Daniel Piper, and also happy birthday. No, she's not an alderman again, is she? I'm not sure. And happy birthday to Foster Collins. All right, he is celebrating her birthday today also. All right, Eunice Dublin came in at 12. Eunice, I think you're onto something. I feel you're setting your alarm and sending an automatic good morning now at 12 on the dot. You've consistently done that. Valerie Mendoza, good morning. Victor Phillip, and he's sending greetings also to Eunice. Hope I get in this morning. Have serious issues that damaging people's livelihoods. Okay. Pearl Cornice, good morning and happy. She is celebrating her 76th birthday today. Happy birthday, Pearl Cornice. And I'm sure it's coming from Stacey Ann and all the members of the Cordes family, and certainly us at the breakfast show. All right. Odell Guy in Sangre Grande. Eva Smith. She's sending birthday greetings also to her daughter, Natessa. God's bountiful blessings. All right. So happy birthday, Natessa. Joyce Phillip, top of the morning. And she's also wishing her granddaughter, Jada George, a happy birthday. All right, so happy birthday, Jada, from your granny Joyce, and of course from us on the breakfast show. All right. Margaret Thomas also says good morning. Kenny in Harlem, Brennan Smith, Manuela Peters, who's all plenty birthdays today, wishing her husband Willis Peters happy birthday. So happy birthday to Willis from your darling wife Manuela, and of course us on the breakfast show. Slick Money Grip, good morning. Diane Payne, also good morning. Anthony Tinto, who is he wishing birthday? Yes, he's wishing birthday greetings to Auntie Annette, one of the best persons he knows. All right, Auntie Annette, who has a gift for us from Tinto, right? Is it nuts? I think it's black nuts. You call it something so. Anyway, Marlon Motley, good morning. Michael Cadet, Erica Charles, Kathy Ann Charles, and Arlene in Bronxville, Texas. Wendy Ann and Frank James, Suzanne Jessup, Suzanne Suzette, and Mrs. Gemma. Also, Sappy Sunday was epic. All right. Carl Guevara says good morning. Trinidad, Margot Sherwin, and Juliet Kerr. Sherma Paul, Ambrose Blah out in New York, The Slimy Show. Gavin Frank, Alistair Hart, Apollinaris, Victor Tongs, Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona, Dave Gosine, Deborah Noel Serrett, Merle McComey, Richard M. Jeremiah, Debbie Modest, Rosie Bagan, David Wares, Cheryl Marad. Deborah Noel Serrett is saying, did you see the fight? Yeah, that we will talk about that earlier on. User says, what is your election prediction? That's a good poll for today. If Sir Charles will consider it. Nicola McNichols, I don't think we interfere if we ask a question like that, right? David McCarthy says, top of the day. Yvette Scipio, Mrs. R says, good morning. Boy B. Daisy from Debe says good morning. Margarita Chow says good morning. Rina Budu Jennings, Kapi the Nigerian, also says good morning. Beauty Culture, good morning, guys. Jennifer, good morning, everyone. Bernadette Yates and Melissa Yates. Okay, Carol is saying it was predicted it would be an extremely wet, dry season. I didn't see that. Brent Hackshaw, Ian Stewart, Beauty Culture, Nichols, I love that. Good news. Happy birthday to all who celebrating this today. Sorry. Lester Cragwell also says good morning. And Crystal Stevenson also says good morning. All right. Those are all the greetings on the chat.
All right, so excuse me. Let me send out belated birthday greetings to Junior Saldina, who celebrated his birthday over the weekend.
Yeah,
76, I think he is now.
76, boy, Junior.
Yeah.
Well done.
Looking well, yeah.
And I think his son's birthday is today.
Yeah, so happy birthday to JR, man. Also, let me say good morning to Kent out there in Laventel, Colin and Kelly out there in Carnage, Captain Ron in Mississippi today. Sankofa, good day to you. Alistair Hart, good morning. Peter Wilson, Mr. Billy, good day to you in the Powder Magazine. People, Charmaine in New York, Frank in Aruka. Zena is up very early, running down the week. Archbishop Ashton Clark, good day to you. Sachin, good morning. Virginia, Ron DeSantis, good morning. Marva, good morning. Good to have you locked on. Slick Money Grip. You're here. Sandra Serret. Mr. Beep out there in Pity Valley. Good day to you. Chris, to saying good morning. And Brenda in Pinal. Yeah. And of course, I'll be saying good morning to the folks out there. And Gael TV, all you people, thank you very much for being here.
All right. We go for a break. And when we come back, we'll do the news headlines.
Okay, stick around and get ready for this.
Hey, you. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. So you think I can sing, huh? Well, then be part of our Carnival Karaoke. You know what? I don't like that name. Let's call it Carnival Karaoke. Carnival Karaoke. We'll call it karaoke. Yeah, so you can be part of our Carnival Karaoke on the Breakfast Show on New Era TT Radio. Yep, it's happening Monday to Friday at 7:50 a.m. starting Monday the 19th of January, and all you have to do is sing a verse and a chorus of your favorite calypso, soca, chutney, old or new. Just sing it good, and you could be our karaoke singer, our champion for 2026. We're taking 2 contestants every day, and we're choosing one winner whose name will go into the championship box. And on Carnival Friday, the 13th of February, we'll have a grand draw for the karaoke champion on the Breakfast Show. The first ever prizes. Well, don't worry about that. You'll get something. Just come and sing and be part of our Carnival Karaoke on the Breakfast Show and New Era TT Radio. Sing, the man, sing.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? Advertise with us here on the Breakfast Show on New Era TT Radio. Advertise with us. Yeah. Okay, so we are in again 23 minutes to this before the hour of 7 o'clock. And at this point in time, this is where we do papers.
Yeah, we
talk
do
about
news.
papers. Well, one of the papers just now we wouldn't have to do at all.
Which one? Oh, well, yeah. It's as of when?
I'm not too sure when it will kick in. I think I heard the 19th or something like that.
Oh, okay. So the Newsday newspaper will soon be no more. They are closing down. They gave official notification over the weekend that they are shutting down after, I think it's 33 or 35, one of the two. They are shutting down. Okay, so our prayers and best wishes go out to those folks at the Newsday newspaper. All right. Morning, Susie B, Marva Williams, Sandra Gabriel, and Colted Finch and Kishan. All right, good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. All right, Express headlines today online. D-Day in Tobago. Today, of course, is the THA elections out there in Tobago. So good luck to all of those combatants out there. Airport Authority denies false video claims about major airport changes. I saw that and I just looked at it and I said, that doesn't sound right. Oil worker makes... You said something, Richard?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Oil worker makes an online date with a woman. 3 men show up. Oh boy. Woman feared drowned at Madamas Waterfalls. And of course, well, we know for sure now her body has been recovered. Shadow, in inverted commas, murdered in Maloney Gardens. And the creek crack 9 years later. Those are all trending stories in today's Express. All right?
All right, well, the news day for today. So it seems like I will be the person that will not be doing news after a while.
Don't worry, man. I'll give you the guidance.
I'm good with what I was doing. So news day for today. Mohit condemns elderly abuse, says all grants paid on time. Second fire hours after blaze in La Romaine. New grant man wounded in Maruga shooting. Clico Investment Bank claim against Clico thrown out. And ministry post on licensing office hours is fake. 3 arrested in Cuba, stolen car recovered, and ministry launch of Carnival Village a success. Allen's lawyers reject San Fernando mayor's request to delay defamation matter. Bamala Balkaran, TTT's new morning show host. So that's it for the news day for this morning. Over to you on The Guardian, Sir Charles.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much, Richard. In The Guardian today, election tempers flare up, violent clash between TPP and PNM supporters, which you guys would have seen all over the place. HCC chairman, government relying on private housing stock to meet huge demand. And the government makes changes to retrenchment maternity act. I think that is something we have to try and
That's really good news, eh? I read that story. That's good news.
We have to really definitely try and get somebody to talk about that this week.
Well, Minister Batiste.
Yeah. Uptown Fascinators and Southern Stars. 2 Southern banners, right? Share small band Panorama Crown. Laventil residents beg for help as garbage pile up in the community, like so many other communities. I don't know what's going on with that. New year, new authors. Young sisters launch books to make children smile. And Mohip rejects claims of late social grant payments. Yeah, so those are stories in the newspapers today, people.
Yeah.
You know
Sorry.
Yeah, that whole issue of the amendment to the Labor Act and the Retrenchment and Severance Benefits Act. And apparently there's some sweeping changes coming to the labor law, which you knew that the labor law was you knew the labor law was archaic. You've had these conversations with labor leaders over the years. And it's astonishing to me that the PNM did very little or close to nothing. In fact, their ministers of labor always kind of went into the background, but one of those ministers you forgot that was there.
Yeah.
You just forgot who they were after a while.
Well, the last one, you certainly forgot who he was. Till the constituents, the people he represented, even forgot about him.
Because they don't say much. And so this is one of the few times in recent history where a Minister of Labour is actually articulating change to legislation that seems to be energized to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose in part it's because there was an alliance with the trade union movement by this government. But certainly some of those laws are really archaic and need to be changed. So that you're right, Wendell, it is good news.
But let me read a little bit of it. It says, Labour Minister Leroy Batiste announced that Cabinet approved sweeping amendments to the Maternity Protection Act and the Retrenchment and Severance Benefits Act, delivering expanded paid leave and stronger workplace protections for modern families. For the first time, the law will formally recognize paternity and parental leave, extending benefits to adoptive parents and guardians, and applying parental leave where a mother dies following childbirth. These reforms will introduce paid breastfeeding breaks, strengthen protections against workplace discrimination, plenty of people go through that, ban pregnancy testing for job applicants and employees, guarantee a return to the same job after maternity, paternity, or parental leave, shift the burden of proof to employers, extend full protections to contract workers, fast-track cases through the industrial court. Well, you see that last one? I hope that last one happens fast. You understand? But all these are excellent news coming out of the Labour Ministry. And
is it to go before Parliament? Is it what is he saying exactly in terms of the process?
But he announced that the Cabinet approved the sweeping changes. So I guess is a change coming out of the Cabinet. I don't know that it requires parliamentary approval. Maybe it just requires the Cabinet to say this is what we're doing. You understand? So it says they will also remove the outdated rule limiting maternity benefits to once every 24 months, because you couldn't have a child every year and get leave now. You understand? The legislation
but if it's amendment and act, the only way that could happen without parliamentary.
I'm going to answer it now, Richard. I'm going to answer it
regulations by the minister or something.
I'm going to answer it now because this last part of this paragraph says it. The legislation is now before the Attorney General for drafting. So I guess after it drafts, it will come to Parliament.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was saying it can't just happen just like that.
Yeah.
Unless it's some kind of regulations you could change.
Yeah.
Sometimes the ministers have regulations they can adapt and change and add.
Yeah. I know the Minister of Work certainly has that power. Works and transport. But yes, it's the Attorney General will draft it and it will come to Parliament. But this is good news. Well done, Minister Leroy Batiste.
I agree. I think it's good news.
Yeah.
And kudos to the UNC about it, because it has been something that has been languishing for a while, because we have actually interviewed past union leaders on that issue prior to this, and they have articulated certain things that needed to be done with legislation. So kudos for getting it done.
Yeah, because you see this workplace discrimination. I didn't even know that you had to, for a job application, you also had to do a pregnancy test.
That's not standard.
Oh.
You may be trying to eliminate people or companies or employers that do that, but that's not standard. No.
Okay.
They're just trying to close that gap.
Yeah, well, I've never heard that one before. You know, because but anyway, those are some of the changes that are expected to come, and well, I could see this getting full support. I can't see anybody going against this. You know, when it gets to the Parliament, I don't see that happening.
Well, it's like more good news. Or did you know? Well, and speaking of did you know, let's do our did you know segment.
only one that didn't know that Albert Einstein was a civil rights activist? And his alignment with the civil rights movement began way before he even got to this country. So in 1931, while still living in Germany, he heard about the Scottsboro Boys case. A group of black teens were being falsely accused of a crime. Einstein joined a campaign to fight for justice for the teens. That same year, he received an invitation from W.E.B. Du Bois, the founder of the NAACP, to submit an article to his magazine. And in that article, Einstein praised black Americans for their fight against racial injustice and encouraged them not to let racism tarnish their self-worth or their self-value. In 1933, he fled Germany and ended up in Princeton, New Jersey. Princeton was a segregated college town, and Einstein said that he felt that black Americans were being treated the same way that Jews were being treated in Nazi Germany. And he fully integrated himself into the black community in Princeton. He would just walk the streets in black neighborhoods, making deep friendships with the black community and handing out candy to kids. And he did this the whole time that he lived in Princeton. He also joined the NAACP and the American Crusade Against Lynching, and he was a big advocate for anti-lynching. Einstein constantly turned down speaking engagements, but one time he did speak at Lincoln College, which is an HBCU in Pennsylvania. While he was there, he taught a class to the black students, and he also spoke out against racism. All of his scientific friends told Einstein to keep his mouth shut on these issues, but Einstein didn't care what his peers thought. He continued to speak out for what he thought was right. He maintained a close relationship with W.E.B. Du Bois, and when W.E.B. was indicted as a foreign agent, Einstein offered to be a key witness at the trial. Einstein was also placed on the FBI list because of his alignment with civil rights. Wow, I had no idea. Big shout out to Albert Einstein. I knew he was a scientific genius, but he also had genius level heart and character as well. Man, this is dope information. I love it.
Wow. Things that you know and you don't know, eh? Yeah. Albert Einstein. Well, now I have a different appreciation for Albert Einstein.
Oh, not the theory of relativity. Yes. Yeah.
So I have a birthday greeting here also to belated birthday greetings to Latia Gorkin. Latia Gorkin. All right, I think that's the name, or Katia. I'm not sure. Marva Williams, you type Katia in one and Latia in the next one. I don't know which one it is, but happy birthday, Tia Gorkin. We'll say Tia.
That's the same position.
We'll say Tia. Happy birthday, Tia Gorkin. All right. All right, and to all those others on the chat, very vibrant. Quoted Finch, thanks for that correction. It's 32 years for Newsday. Thanks very much. All right. And morning to Miss Henry. And Miss Henry, I agree. Mayor Paris simply needs to offer an apology and whatever, because that will not end well for him, you know? So I agree with that comment. All right, so we can open up the lines and take a few calls from you this morning. Today, of course, stay away from campaigning, okay? Today, of course, is the elections in Tobago. I don't know how many people from Tobago actually join us. We know for sure that Brennan Smith and them, they are listening. And we have some other people from Tobago, but we don't know the strength of the Tobago viewership. You know, so all the best.
And we also, you know, what should also be noted too, what was another trending thing on social media yesterday, that since yesterday afternoon, and this is all like 3:45, 3 o'clock, 4:45, there were already cars lining up to go into licensing.
What, yesterday afternoon?
Yesterday afternoon. And there were videos of cars already lining up to go into a licensing. That, as far as I'm concerned, is a ridiculous and horrifying indictment on the licensing office and the government. That citizens have to endure that just to make sure that things are done on time, and because machines they don't have enough people to process everything. Machines keep breaking down, and a whole set of other issues that have been challenging the entire process. that you have citizens of this country having to line up the day before to get transactions done is as third world as it gets. and it's an indictment on the licensing office and the government under whom it is happening.
So people just leaving the car and going home. They're not staying in the car. They're parking the car up in a line and going away.
Some people can't leave the car when they're there. They stay with the car.
Wow.
I mean, I stayed in my car from 4 o'clock yesterday to this morning when they open. Nah, man. People must be parking the car and going and coming back this morning.
That is
so
something.
in the line. Because once you're up behind somebody, nobody can come around unless somebody move out from in front who get fed up.
Anyway, it was making the rounds yesterday, and I think the Express even commented on it. Express did something on it too and commented on it. But it's just annoying.
All right, let's go to the lines.
Anything that's anti-citizen, I get irate about it. And I also read an article, I think, coming out of Jamaica. About
Hold the article 1 minute, Richard. Hold the article. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
2 points I want to mention. One, that incident with I just have a question about that incident reference. But first thing I want to mention, the closure of Newsday is just the start of the ball roll. Newsday just started the ball roll. I expect a lot of prominent companies to close down in the next year. Right? With the things that is happening in this country, I expect a lot of bars I expect to be closing down, and a lot of business places I expect to be closing down in the next year. Just after Carnival, we'll wait and see, but I expect just after Carnival, they'll be holding on till after Carnival. And after that, I'll wait. Richard, I understand what you're saying, and you're right to a great extent about the functionality of licensing office. But I sometimes wonder if the problem is not us. When I look at these lines, it always takes me back to when I fly. And we as human beings, it's not a Trinidadian thing. We as human beings, I never understand it. We know how a plane disembarks. We know how the order in which it disembarks. But for some reason, as the seatbelt sign come off, the people in the back of the plane just stand up and want to take damage. And I never understand that. We always trying to get out full, just like that, right and rush the brush. And I wonder if it's not something that's similar to that is happening with licensing office. Everybody just wants to rush the brush and jumping forward, even though there's nothing you could do if you stand up and take out your luggage off of the overhead compartment. You still have to wait for the front people to go first. So
I am laughing, Lincoln, because I marvel at that all the time. Where are they going? I laugh.
I don't move from my seat until the people in the row before me get up.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's the protocol of a plane. Unless the person say go ahead.
These people are licensing office. I suspect they just tell themselves that they reach first, they'll get sorted out first, and the problem is us. It's not only licensing office. I'm not saying licensing office have issues, but we like to just rush and try to be first, and some people going there 11 o'clock the night before. The next person says, see me, I going from 10, and it finally gets down to 4 o'clock the evening before. Have a good one.
Yeah. I every time I travel and I see that, I wonder. But I generally sit in the aisle, so I get up, and then people would be coming, trying to squeeze their way from the back. I'm saying, but no, you ain't passing here. You know what I mean? Come on, don't be ridiculous. There's a protocol in a plane that the people up front you allow them to filter out and you go out in an orderly fashion. If you want to hurry up and go out first, buy a business class ticket and go and sit down up front. You understand? You can't be on road 28 and you want to rush out, unless you have an emergency, and which time you would have told the attendant before, so they would announce that please allow, if it's transiting passengers, an opportunity to deplane first. That's what they do. You know what I mean?
People.
Anyway, the article I was talking about is one called Politics Time. And it came out of Jamaica, and it was titled "The Jamaican Problem Confronting Trinidad." And if I may read just quickly some of it. Put aside this article upset me. Not I wasn't irritated. It was a little bit because I'm so competitive about Trinidad and Tobago globally, and I'm always looking at where we are. It was kind of a slap in the face in a kind of way for that. Anyway, put aside the emotional rhetoric, the romance of regional integration, and the familiar left-leaning public posturing. The seminal question is far more uncomfortable and far more urgent. What is actually happening to Trinidad and Tobago? Trinidad is no longer merely underperforming. It is structurally cornered. The country is effectively broke, not because it lacks natural endowment, but because decades of policy failure, vanity projects, and an almost total dependence on the energy sector have hollowed out its economic base. What once made Trinidad wealthy has now become its greatest liability. After more than a century, Trinidad's oil industry has crossed the critical threshold from asset to burden. The cost of operating mature onshore and nearshore oil fields now exceeds the revenue they generate. Successive governments failed to modernize the industry, failed to diversify the economy, and failed to anticipate competition from new producers. Trinidad built a country around energy rents and never planned for their decline. The rise of Guyana has exposed this weakness mercilessly. Guyana enjoys easily accessible offshore oil and gas, lower extraction costs, and vast new reserves. Trinidad, by contrast, faces depleted fields, high production costs, and declining output. The closure of the refinery was not ideological or political. It was a tacit admission that the existing energy model is no longer viable. Even more telling is how dramatically the regional economic hierarchy has shifted. Jamaica, long portrayed as the weaker non-energy economy, now holds higher net international reserves than Trinidad and Tobago. This alone should shatter lingering myths about Trinidad's economic superiority. A country with oil and gas now has less external financial cushioning than a country with none. The irony deepens. Jamaica, which does not produce oil, is currently exporting refined petroleum products and bunker gas to Trinidad. This is not a symbolic reversal, it is a structural indictment. Trinidad, once the region's energy hub, now depends on refined products processed elsewhere, an extraordinary outcome for a petrostate. Trade and capital flows further underline Trinidad's diminished position. More Jamaican businesses now own assets and operations in Trinidad than the reverse, reflecting a shift in entrepreneurial confidence and financial strength. Meanwhile, over 60,000 Trinidadians travel to Jamaica annually, not only for leisure, but increasingly for medical services, education, and business. Another quiet signal of changing regional gravity. Perhaps most damning of all, Jamaica has become Trinidad's largest export market. This means Trinidad's economic health is now partially tethered to a country it once subsidized through energy concessions and preferential arrangements. The former benefactor now relies on the former recipient to absorb its exports. Against this backdrop, the notion that Trinidad can afford sentimental regionalism collapses entirely. why the new Prime Minister is effectively anti-CARICOM. The new Prime Minister's posture towards CARICOM is not ideological defiance. It is economic triage driven by stark realities. And it goes through some of those realities. I'm just giving you a sense of the and it goes through, different realities in terms of revenue and stuff like that and what Trinidad and Tobago is facing. That article was a little depressing to me reading it. And it was upsetting, what Trinidad and Tobago has become. And we're seeing it all now in terms of the high traffic fines, which have erased whatever honeymoon this government has. All those traffic fines that went up, everything that was doubled in terms of alcohol, in terms of customs duties, all those things have made life even more difficult. What's the solution? We could have economists, but economists kind of say the same thing all the time, don't they? They have a kind of talking points that they talk about. But I just felt it was some food for thought. But I'll have to come off this platform and return the show.
All right. We go for the news when we come back. Of course, our poll is up, people. Do you support the sweeping changes to workplace laws? We would have read some of it earlier on. Do you support those changes to the workplace laws? Yes or no? All right.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean TV for Monday, the 12th of January. Hope you had a good weekend, everybody, and welcome. More than 50,000 voters in Tobago will go to the polls today in the Tobago House of Assembly election. The Tobago People's Party, led by Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, held an island-wide rally from Shaw Park and traveled across the island. Deputy Chief Secretary Dr. Faith Brebner says the party is campaigning on its development blueprint and its record over the last 4 years. Meanwhile, the PNM staged a motorcade and met voters face-to-face. Tobago Council leader Ansel Dennis says unemployment and the decline of key sectors show the island needs change. Smaller parties, including the IDA and Unity of the People, are also contesting seats as voters decide Tobago's future today. Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar has rejected claims that higher road traffic fines are being used to raise revenue. She says police data show that under the previous PNM government, more than $600 million in tickets were issued and over $400 million collected under the demerit points system between 2020 and 2025. Persad Bissessar says her government removed most demerit points and is focused on restoring law and order, not raising money. Transport Minister Eli Zakor says stricter enforcement should lead to fewer violations, fewer accidents, and ultimately less revenue from fines. One of Trinidad and Tobago's major newspapers has come to an end. Newsday has published its final edition after more than 32 years in circulation. Its publisher, Daily News Limited, has applied to the High Court to wind up the company. Managing Director Grant Taylor says a perfect storm of rising costs, falling advertising revenue, and declining print readership forced the closure. He said 40% of readers stopped buying the paper after its price rose to $3, while print advertising has fallen by 75% over the past decade. A full staff meeting is scheduled for today as the company begins its closure process. The state has paid more than $16 million in medical negligence settlements over the past decade. Documents obtained under the Freedom of Information Act show that 61 cases were settled between 2015 and 2024 by the country's regional health authorities. Those RHAs, which run public hospitals, also spent more than $37 million on legal fees between 2015 and 2021, defending similar claims. Under current rules, the RHAs, not individual doctors, are financially responsible for negligence cases and settlements do not mean liability was admitted. Recent cases include payouts over injuries and deaths linked to childbirth and surgery at major public hospitals. Several other medical negligence cases are still before the courts. An outbreak of chickenpox has been confirmed at the maximum security prison. The prison service says 72 inmates and 7 prison officers have contracted the virus over the past 2 months. The first case was detected on November 11th, and health authorities were brought in immediately to manage the situation. At present, 29 inmates remain in isolation, while 43 have recovered and returned to the general prison population. 7 officers are currently on sick leave. The prison service says the outbreak is contained at the maximum security prison only, with no cases reported at other facilities. Enhanced sanitization, medical screening, quarantine, and protective equipment for officers are all in place as health officials continue to monitor the situation. Finally, Iran is warning it will retaliate if attacked by the United States as deadly protests continue across the country. Demonstrations, sparked by soaring inflation, have spread to more than 100 cities, with calls now growing for an end to clerical rule. Doctors told the BBC that more than 100 bodies were brought to 2 hospitals over 2 days, with the true death toll feared to be much higher. The U.S. has threatened action over the killings, while Iran says any attack would make U.S. and Israeli targets in the region legitimate targets. Security forces have intensified crackdowns, and over 2,500 people have been arrested since the protests began. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Hey you, yes you, I'm talking to you, so you think I can sing, huh? Well, then be part of our Carnival Karaoke. You know what? I don't like that name. Let's call it Carnival Karaoke. Carnival Karaoke. We'll call it Karaoke. Yeah, so you can be part of our Carnival Karaoke on the Breakfast Show on New Era TT Radio. Yep, it's happening Monday to Friday at 7:50 a.m. starting Monday the 19th of January, and all you have to do is sing a verse and a chorus of your favorite calypso, soca, chutney, old or new. Just sing it good, and you could be our karaoke singer, our champion for 2026. We're taking 2 contestants every day, and we're choosing 1 winner whose name will go into the championship box. And on Carnival Friday, the 13th of February, we'll have a grand draw for the karaoke champion on the Breakfast Show. The first ever prizes. Well, don't worry about that. You'll get something. Just come and sing and be part of our Carnival Karaoke on the Breakfast Show and New Era TT Radio. Sing, the man, sing.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the NETT Radio Breakfast Show.
Alexander the Great is different from Alexander the Great. I never met a man who's so fortunate. Whenever you hear him speak, it does make you weak. So confident when he elucidates. Some say the man cocky, but I say the man well lucky. Drink your corner him, he'll find a way out. Alexander the Great conquered lands east, west, north and south, but we Alexander conquer we with him out. If you take in his maiden speech, look how far this man reached. No giant, he's the luckiest man alive. If you listen his quotation, the new John agitation, he revived. He's the luckiest man alive. Give him A+ for performance. He speaks with such assurance. When he shoots his mouth off, it's not a false start. His response is not full of air. Took him hours just to prepare. All his answers down in a plastic bag. A community center is for the community. You see these two watches I have on here? That is because I work double time. Alexander the Great is different from Alexander the Great. Tunapuna couldn't choose a better candidate. In every human discourse, he don't need no sword or horse. It's with his sharp tongue, he does captivate. Old Alexander long forgotten, with we only hear one nothing. Each sentence sounds like a news release. If you study what he says, your knowledge bound to increase. You didn't know police station is for police. If you take in his maiden speech, look how far this man reached. No giant, he's the luckiest man alive. No more interjection, Tommy Joseph on rotation, he revived. He's the luckiest man alive. Give him A+ for performance. He speaks with such assurance. When he shoots his mouth off, it's not a false start. His response is not full of air. Took him hours just to prepare. All his answers down in a plastic bag. So if I eat a banana, you will see it? Tell me if you can see it. Alexander the Great is different from Alexander the Great. It's people like him we must appreciate. Check out Trini any day. We have talent to give away. Nowhere in this world you'll find a duplicate. He could have been a broadcaster. It's the King's English, the man master. And this here in Trini learn his word craft. What he says in Parliament is not meant to make us laugh. He alone could chop off mostly in half. Ha, ha. If you take in his maiden speech, look how far this man reached. No giant, he's the luckiest man alive. Verbal preposition, Larry Joseph exposition, he revived. He's the luckiest man alive. Give him A+ for performance. He speaks with such assurance. When he shoots his mouth off, it's not a false start. His response is not full of air. Took him hours just to prepare. All his answers down in a plastic bag.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
So we welcome you inside the second hour of the breakfast show. And of course, yes, you are listening to New Era TT Radio. So we...
From Alexander the Great, I never met a man who's so fortunate. Whenever you hear him speak, it does make you...
Carnival is in full flight right about now. All they coming, all they coming. All they get busy, all right?
Some say the man cocky.
Yeah, people, so wherever you may be, we're happy to have you here on New Era TT Radio, New Era TT Radio on TuneIn.
Alexander the Great.
You got us on your Google and Alexa devices there, right? And of course, when you come off of the Gael feed, so good morning to the Gael family. Coming around 8:30 in that area there. Well, you can join us on www.newerattradio.com. So our morning poll is up, and of course you're voting yes or no. Any comments after that, please? Right, so do you support the sweeping changes to workplace laws in Trinidad and Tobago? There are some sweeping changes to workplace laws. Do you support it, yes or no? And when we come back, we will tell you how you voted, right? So stay with us here on the net.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Sorry about that, Wendell. My bad there.
You know, the time he won the Calypso Monarch was with a song on Ian Allen, if you remember. And he won the crown when he sang about Ian Allen. You can't remember?
I can't remember directly, but I remember the song. I can't remember when he won.
On Ian Allen. You see the similarity, because this is a very good Calypso he sung on Alexander. And his vocals, you ain't losing your vocals, boy. But I like that song. The first time I hear it.
Alexander the Great.
Yeah, Alexander the Great, not Alexander you're great. I like that. I like the spin on that.
Calypsonians have a way of doing their stuff. Speaking of which, as you talk, Calypso, just before we get to the polls, when we finish the poll, before we get back into the serious discussions, and maybe Richard will join us back at that point in time, I'm going to play you all my Calypso for 2026 also. So you get it. I will officially launch it here on the net.
Okay, you have a Calypso?
Yeah, man, I have a Calypso.
All right. Okay, interesting. But you should have gone and sing at the opening of the Carnival Village. That turned into a bacchanal.
Oh, good.
That turned into a bacchanal. You know?
Boy.
I mean, these things could go. I mean, either way. When you see Carnival, when you interfere with too much things in Carnival, not everybody takes it nicely, because the Carnival crowd is a different crowd. The Carnival spirit, as people say, is a different kind of spirit, you know.
Yeah.
You understand? People forget everything but politics and politicians during Carnival time. You know? They just want to have fun. They just want things their way. You understand? Which is why Carnival, at the end of the day, you don't know who you're jumping up to. Nobody has no time for PNM, UNC, TPP, and all them thing on the Carnival days. During Carnival time, nobody had time for that, you know. Everybody,
one family.
Yeah.
All that is one family at that point in time.
Yeah. So, don't play politics with Carnival. Many people have learned that they have.
Not how we party.
Yeah.
True words. True words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true words.
Good song from Dwayne O'Connor. All right, so our poll, of course, is up. People, do you support the sweeping changes to workplace laws? And we could start where Richard going. Is he counting votes or you counting?
I counted. Remember, Richard's be in transit, and he will be probably that way for this week also.
Oh, okay. All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so he'll rejoin us. David McCarthy says yes. Avion Abraham says no. Victor Phillips says yes. Marlon Motley, yes. Terry Ann George, yes. Deborah Noel Surratt, yes. Bernadette Yates, yes. Ian Stewart, yes. CJ from New York, yes. CJ, I hope you're a lot better. Scorpion Pepper says yes. Slick Money Grip says yes. Brennan Smith says yes. Eunice Dublin, yes. Dean Allen, yes. I don't know if that yes is for the vote, Dean. He says yes, and then he went on to say some other things about something else. Boy B. Dacey says yes. Good question, Scolted Finch. We'll probably get an answer for that later on. Beauty Culture says yes. Scarlet Hercules says yes. And Trini Merle Kitchen says yes. Those are the votes I have on the poll.
Okay. Some people, we all need to vote.
Yeah, not much people vote today. Like, we asked all a nice, easy question.
Yeah. All right. So, in the meantime, just to see if we have anybody will come back in. So we had Brenda saying yes. It's in Penal. Sachin saying yes. Ava did not vote. I don't think, right? Sandra, Sarah, did you vote? Let me see. I have to go back into some of these messages. That's why I say yes or no first. I'll be able to see that on the WhatsApp without going into it. Freya says yes. And Peter Wilson says yes. Zena says yes. Robert Aline also says yes. Anybody else on your side?
Yeah, I have some more. Michael Cadet says yes. Debbie Mitchell says yes. Margaret Thomas says yes. And Colted Finch has abstained.
His independence on the thought.
I don't think you understood what I said. I did refer to that bacchanal from the opening of Carnival, the Carnival Village. I did refer to it. And I said that's why people don't take changes lightly. They don't play politics with the Carnival. I think you may have misunderstood me when you said, Wendell, that is not true. I don't know what you mean by that. All right, so those are our votes. What have you got there, say, Charles?
I just have one or two.
I only remember one person saying no.
Yeah, one person. One person said no. All right. So we had 31 people on the voting today, and of the 31 people voting, we had 30 saying yes and one person saying no. One person saying no, but the 30 other persons said yes, they support it. And those things, it was really quite a while, Actually, one person was actually reminding me that that where we were in the last space, they say when they remember you calling for that change since 2016.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's been long in coming.
Long in coming. We had how many ministers of labor? We had Jennifer Baptiste Primus as Minister of Labor, who came from the labor movement, who came from PSA also. Of course, she had to battle with COVID, and we know how that went. You know what I mean? And of course, we had Stephen McClatchy, who no one knew. There was not a single day anybody called for the removal of Stephen McClatchy, which indicates that they don't even know you. You know what I mean?
They don't even know who to call for.
They don't know who to call to be fired. Most people didn't know him. You know what I mean? He quietly remained as Minister of Labor for almost 5 years. Because he came in the 2020 government, 2020 elections, and he became Minister of Labor, and that was it. You didn't hear much from him after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But with something like this, I don't know. I don't know how people can, would not support something like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine people. Finbar Collins saying it's hard to vote for something good with this government. I just don't trust them. They can easily fire everyone hidden with goodies. True, just like the budget. But these things in the labor, especially with fast tracking things through the industrial court, will benefit quite a lot of people who have had things there languishing for years. You understand?
Yeah, heaven knows we could do it some fast tracking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have a personal interest in that one.
Yes, we have a personal stake.
It couldn't have not a better time.
But only can make some more amendments. They get to move a little faster.
Yes.
Hey, anyhow, you see, before Richard came in, because Richard started to talk about something that is very, very serious, and I know he only probably pushed it through because he had to be in transit. So I'm hoping that when he comes back in, he'll be able to expand on it a little more about, what's happening where CARICOM is concerned. So before we get there, I have my calypso for 2026. Right? It's called Ship Run Aground. Ship Run Aground. And I might play it for you guys, and then I'll tell all you how I came up with this particular song, right?
All right.
So listen well.
The vibes bubble up, hear what they had to say. Agnes, what you think about this government? She say 5 years I can't take this torment. But if the dog wanted to leave and go, he should have never treat the people so. He say not in love with office, so he going and handle his business. 100,000 votes, and on election they hold back their bloody votes. You run the ship on the ground. You run the ship on the ground. When people was talking to you, you take your people for clown. The people wanted the convention to say who run the party. You go on Tobago and you give them shorty so. We reach the bus road, the maxi moving slow. When we reach the ramp, the ladies up the tempo. A man in the front seat watching both of them. He said the two are all here, causing real problem. Must start a fire, the tow get hot. As the tow re-end, I hear another drop. The country hard, I hear a lady say, can't get me, I drop, no be had to pay. Them different politicians, them we make we lose. 3 billion missing, they say it's a glitching. Pay yourself big pension, workers get 4%. So workers kick we out of the government. You run the ship on the ground. You run the ship on the ground. When people was talking to you, you take the people for clown. All these wicked things you do, for the and all get vexed. The party in crisis, that's why he say you acting hubris. Captain, you need to respond immediately. The ship is going down. The maxi hit a pothole, the driver create a scene. He said them bad road mashing up me machine. The road hard, I walking like a mule, and them pothole bigger than swimming pool. Now the money done, and the people bitter, and the friend them, he want me richer. Them don't care about we, so me I care about them. This politician only looking out for their friend. I'm Alicia Goddess and I want to know how the hell he's sitting in the front row. I lawyer don't be party and I find it queer. He on the dock on the stage in Woodford Square. You run the ship on the ground. You run the ship on the ground. When people was talking to you, you take the people for clown. Now all the and call an holy election. Super ministers recuse from cabinet. Family contract and everybody set. Different them getting work while others had to wait. Democracy a dance, corruption by the gate. Him but get the auditor general facts. It's 10 years, he just can't fix the forex. The people didn't give we a chance when they find out the dragon can't dance. You run the ship underground. You run the ship underground. When people was talking to you, you take the people for clown. Now we have to work so hard to bring back we great party. Now we cook. It's all day the man posting on Facebook.
Captain.
That's plenty calypso for our first time, boys, Sir Charles. That's plenty calypso.
Yeah. Actually, that's not my first calypso, you know. Remember I did last year. I was talking about something about children and stuff and things. I just kind of you know, do it within my space. And well, the last couple of years I've been you know, throwing my hat in the ring, doing little things, and I did some stuff with the Icon stint last year and year before. Yeah, but they are not coming this year. You know, apparently no funded.
Yeah, well, I would imagine a lot of smaller activities will fall by the wayside.
Yeah, you know, so that's a basic. I didn't bother with the tent thing, you know, like the auditions and thing in the earlys and stuff, because as I said, I just doing my thing within my space. You know, I'm not no full-fledged.
You have more people watching and listening here to this show than you gain a tent.
But you know, Calypso tents were, you know, I mean, despite everything, you know, Calypso tents over the years has been kind of dwindling with all reality, I think. But, you know, I saw somebody in the chat said that I should do the Calypso last year, but it's not all the information came with that particular Calypso came after the election.
During the elections, huh?
Yeah,
to lead up to the elections. I realize that there's a lot to do with it.
And it's not a lot of all the information in the Calypso is not anything fabricated. You know, sometimes you just make up things. It's all those things are things that actually happen. And how it started is right here on the show, you know, Wendell. After the elections, because remember people were complaining. People were not, and some people are still not in the best of ways with the opposition now, then government, and the things that they did, what they felt caused the party to be in opposition right now. And that's what the Calypso is basically about. Talking about the people, how they were disgruntled with the administration, things that were happening, and they aired their concern, and they aired those concerns right here.
Yeah.
So every time I heard a concern being aired by somebody on the program, I document it.
Right.
And I say, okay, well, this, and eventually started craft it into something, and that is how this song is where it's at right now.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Oh, you just played the Kaiso, Sir Charles.
You missed it.
Yeah. Oh, that's missed it then.
Yeah.
I was getting problems to get online for some reason. But.
Oh, so yeah, because I know you were coming back on, you know, and I know we started talking something before, so I just wanted to get it in. So yeah, you know, so people are looking and look for it. Look for Sir Charles. Look for Ship Run Aground 2026, and you all can like it as best as you can.
All right.
Ship Run Aground, okay.
Yeah, the ship has state. And how everybody was vexed. oh, the man do this and the man do that, and he should have do this, and who should have get fired and who didn't do what. It's a kind of reality check for most people. Right, actually.
We have a lot more to write about now, though.
well, next. Well, I think enough people writing this year. It's the most amount of political calypsos I have heard in about 10 years, in the last 10 years, People who were singing nation building and lamentation song, everybody find the voices here. So it's interesting, this calypso.
I would imagine.
This calypso circle is an interesting one, but from a non-partisan point of view, you're looking at it. Yeah, man. Yeah. So please go up and like this song and help it to move on YouTube. All right.
I lost it when I was going through my phone, but I saw a very interesting article by someone who goes by the name of Ashmead Ali talking about this license renewal fines, and he is so on point because he is saying the only punishment is if you're driving without expired permit. You understand? You can't punish somebody if they decide they ain't driving at all and they leave the permit to expire. You can't. Why would you punish somebody for that? I mean, these are my words. I'm using my words, right? You understand? He said that could never hold up in law, that you're punishing somebody who decide they ain't driving or who didn't drive for years because they were ill or they were out of the country or they just didn't fit their car down. You can't punish somebody who goes to renew a permit after all that time simply because they were not driving. You understand? I mean that is going to fail spectacularly in the court if the government tries to defend that. That's my layman's opinion. That is going to fail.
Well, somebody has laid a challenge sheet, I think, right?
Yes, I think they've sent a pre-action protocol letter already to the Transport Commissioner. You understand? They will have to back down on that. That's a crazy thing. And then you come a day after and say how the fees you were charging was the wrong fee, and it actually more than that. I mean, you're wrong and you want to be wrong and stupid, wrong and strong. You know what I mean?
I already should have been charged all the more.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, to be fair to the commissioner, it's not him that institutes the charge. That comes from the politics. But he faces it. He's the face of licensing, and licensing needs to do better in terms of a lot of their systems. I mean, they were seemingly doing well and really starting to get some positive reviews, and all of that has gotten reversed within the last couple of weeks. That people are so frustrated now with licensing, and of course the additional fees have now painted a very dark and negative picture on the licensing office through the politics and the decision of politicians. It's now seen as a very dreary kind of dark place mentally, and then all of these additional fees which they didn't have before, because if you were late in renewing your license there was no fee before. Now there is a fee, which is unusual. Many countries don't have a fee for that, so it's unusual, and it seems even more punitive, and like you're penalizing citizens for no reason at all. I mean, we have articulated it ad nauseum in terms of since it was done, but it's not going to go down well with people. As I said, the honeymoon is out the damn door because of a lot of the decisions that the UNC has made, and a lot of the attitude that came along with those decisions.
Yeah, you can't be wrong. So that don't make sense. You could imagine I decide I'm not going to drive or I've traveled or something, and my permit expires, and when I go to renew it 6 months later or a year later, that I have to pay a fine for that. Could you imagine that?
Yeah. Well, I always find Trinidadians need to be more litigation oriented in a lot of things. Let it take it to court. Let the court decide certain things. You know, there's so many things that need to be challenged.
Yeah.
I mean, we challenge much more now than years and years ago. But certainly, let the court decide. I mean, additional taxes is always a tricky one, but take it to the court, let the court decide. Lay your arguments.
All right, we could go back to the lines and takes, of course, unless you guys want to talk all day about you and Sir Charles and Calypso. We could take some calls from you folks out there.
But what is the international best practice where these things are concerned? How do they function with it? Maybe our listeners abroad could probably tell us. I'm not talking about.
There's no best practice. I told you what Pennsylvania does. They don't charge you if you're late in terms of doing your license, especially if it's just a few days late. They're not going to charge you anything for that. So, but you see, it depends on whether our country is pro-citizen or our country is anti-citizen. And a lot of the times, the politics of this country is very anti-citizen. And I try to analyze it sometimes, and I say, is it a colonial slavery indentureship kind of a kind of epigenetic kind of thing with our politicians? Because most of our politicians who have ruled, all of our politicians who have ruled us are pre-1962. All right? All of them that have ruled us have been pre-1962. And it almost is like they feel that the only way to control the population or the only way to effect measures is to be punitive and to make sure you obey by being punitive and borderline vindictive. And which is kind of a harping back to colonial laws, which is how they saw us. So I think that's ingrained in them in a kind of way. That's how I see it. So I think the real hope lies in the post-1962 generation, who may be more may have a different view and maybe less tied into things like that. I don't know. I just try to think about it sometimes, that why do they always feel that they have to do things like that rather than do the pro-citizen measure or be more pro-citizen in outlook? You know, how is this going to affect my citizens? How is this going to make life, is this going to make life easier or better for them? Is it something that I have to do? And if I have to do it, let me explain it to them so they'll understand. You know, those kinds of things are just out the window.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Caller, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to Charles. Good morning, Richard. Richard, you raised the issue this morning with that document that you read, and I want to put this. I want to put this before the country this morning. We have mismanaged the restructuring of our economy. We shut down the garment sector. We shut down the textile sector. We are burdened with every state enterprise in a debt cloud. HTC, AFTL, MTS, Esports Development. Most state enterprise are burdened with debt owing to the small business sector, SME sector. The small business sector is the sector that creates employment, drive the economy, create growth, create activities in the economy. That you're owing them over $10 billion. So you're taking the money out of the economy by owing people. And then you're going to the courts and using this, what you call dishonest plea of statute bar. I mean, I know one company that the Ministry of Education is owing $14 million. They went to the court, statute bar. Although the judge said to the state that you have a right, you're supposed to do the right thing, which is pay that company the $14 million. Forget the statute bar because you know you owe them. You receive the services and everything. And most of all, that $14 million is the retention, which is the company money you've been deducting from the payment certificates. And when you have small companies that you've done that to, like a bandit, like a thief in the night, that you take the money from them and they have no money to invest in the economy, And we reached in a position of where the hard task come with the UNC to have to realign the economy because of using our gas to do what? To make products. Because we bought in the wrong material, we can make more money selling the gas if we sell the gas to get foreign exchange because they are not creating foreign exchange for the country. So we find ourselves in a position as a government where we have to realign the economy of the country. Hard times, hard decisions. Everybody complains about the fines, but how are we going to run the country if we can't realign the economic activities and the transactions in the economy? How are we going to do it? If we go to Brooklyn in the morning, we have our license, and we were in Trinidad and we didn't renew it. When you go to the licensing office, then you have to pay additional. So what's the complaint? If you get a ticket and you don't pay a ticket in New York, they take out a warrant and they arrest you and lock you up. All those things are in place. We are now putting those things in place, which we are 20 years behind time with that. So I understand what people feel.
When we lock up people, we lock up people for not paying tickets, not so surcharges.
Hey, take a while, man.
In New York, it's a matter of weeks, 2-3 weeks. So the question is that we have a management problem, Richard.
Yeah.
We have a middle management problem that we have not solved over the decade. Dr. Draper tried doing it. We have a middle management problem.
Okay.
The people in the middle seem not to know what to do all the day in the job. 10, 5, 15 years.
Bishop, thanks much for your input this morning. Yeah, Kola, good morning to you.
Kaiso. So Charles, boy, you're ready for the big yard. Fellas, you don't find so good morning, front and center.
I'm a big yard.
You have a big yard? No, come on, man. We have to get behind you, man. You have to represent.
No problem.
Right, the other close at the heels is the road match and monarch of Queens, Brooklyn, Virginia, Florida, Texas, and a couple other places I wouldn't want to call right now. But anyway, just want you to know that no friend when it comes to competition, okay?
Nice.
I'm making it to the big yard. Anyway, hey, I just want to answer your question in relation to driver's licenses and stuff, in the US of A. If it's one thing that is consistent as far as the laws of state to state, tell me, in Trinidad, have they changed that stupid thing they had before where you have a date of when you take out your license, that's your anniversary date, or have they converted to where on your birthday after 6-8 years, or how long for you to renew? Do you know? Could you guys tell me?
No, I think it's still on the day that you take it out.
You take out, yeah.
Your license has nothing to do with your birthday in the sense of it's when you got your license, whenever you did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Your date of issue. Your date of issue is what it's called.
Right, the date of issue. Right, thank you. But in the US, for a reminder, right, they use your date of birth, and most states, well, at least that I know of, and it seems to be almost all of them, right, after 8 years, right, or so on, you renew. And that and I find it's to penalize people because they didn't renew. That is, wow, that's real tata, real tata.
Yeah. I wonder. I just brought that up because Bishop, who we just had on, was saying that in New York, in Brooklyn, but in New York State, up to 2 years after your license is expired, they don't charge you anything for renewing, or you don't have to do any retesting up to 2 years. After 2 years, you have to retest.
Correct, right, yeah, and that is correct.
But there's no additional charge. There's no charge for renewing your license as expired up to 2 years.
Exactly, because there's a lot of people. I think you all mentioned it. There's a lot of people who may not drive, but it's a form of ID for them, and they may take it out. In comparison to just taking out a national ID card. You know what I'm saying? And it's primarily something to use. And right now they have something called Real ID, which become the reality now. That as of this year, actually, middle of last year, I think. But yeah, it's really ridiculous. But you're right. But you know what? It's we who make it like that, right? It's we. We don't really.
No, I ain't taking no blame for that.
Yeah.
You taking blame for that?
None.
But yeah, thanks much. Yeah, thanks so much. Caller, good morning.
Morning. I just want to make a little comment here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, Blue, God loves you. We love you. The boat already sank and it will remain out there.
What you talking about?
Blue, God loves you.
Campaigning.
Oh, no, you can't campaign today. Oh, you can't campaign, man. Today's not a day for you're not going in trouble. Yeah. You can talk issues, but you can't campaign today. All campaigning is supposed to cease as what? Midnight or 6 p.m. or something like that, right, Randall?
Midnight last night.
Yeah. So today is not.
As of midnight tonight.
Caller, good morning to you.
Hey, Charlo, nice guy too, man.
Thank you very much,
Nice.
Mr. Patrick.
The ship is sinking now. The ship run aground.
Run aground. That way we can put it back in the water.
Right. Morning, Wendell. Morning, Mr.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
Good morning, Mr. Patrick.
I was watching some fines and things, not fines, some raise of revenue again with certain things like amusement machines, a job license, job license, what? Things like that. We are bringing people and for the work now, and different things.
Mm-hmm.
And these things gone up to $20,000 and $25,000 and Friday I went into the city mall and I was telling a guy that but the amusement license for them game thing upstairs is the little game thing with them children.
Okay. That has gone up and all.
Yeah, the $27,000. So the people moving out, they move out. And what I'm looking at, a lot of business shutting down, so that means a lot of people going on the Brethren again.
Yeah.
So even by license going right up, I talking to Obama, he license going up to $10,000.
It doubled, 100% increase.
So why everything had to go up 100% increase on the 25? And I want to believe they want to raise driver's permit, but they use a smart way and tell you if you expire by a day. Yeah, it's a day. It's 650.
Yeah.
Something wrong with that, Charlo.
We're broken. Country run aground.
Because a man might even have $500 to renew your permit. I know you have to go and look for a $650 because he's late by a day. Or there's something wrong with this country, right?
Yeah.
And you know, whatever pleasant, man.
Yeah. Well, that is if you're a driver. If you're a driver and your license expires, you can't drive. So you ought to really make sure you get your papers in order. Mr. Billy, good morning.
Kaiso.
Thank you very much, Mr. Billy.
So, I'm like it, boy. Anyhow, outside here, passing by the inspection and the line, they were getting a lot of noises because I'm waiting here to get my car inspected, right?
Right.
So, outside. But what I want to say is that I want to, this morning, my heart goes out to Mr. Brian Lowe, a former TTOC president, who have publicly, announced that he's challenging cancer. And I want him to know, as a personal friend, my president at the Harvard Club, that me and my family, we support him. And we will be there on the 18th, I think, of next month to support the walk or run, as you say, and put everything in God's hands, right? Put everything in God's hands. Right? That's how we are showing up on things in anybody's life. And we just want them to be strong. And I know you have a very dynamic family. His wife and his children will support him also. And I want him personally to know a good friend of mine that I am there for him in any way possible, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to show that out, right?
No problem. That is good. Thanks.
Bad calypso, boy. And the drum, the ship, boy. The drum, boy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Biddy. You know, it's always good when you could, you know, show care for people, you know, who going through difficult times. That has to be a tough time. You know, you're going about doing your business and you go for some routine check or something else going on, and then you end up finding out something like that. It's something
Well,
else.
you know, I when he said that just now, I kind of stopped, you know, because I get regular messages from Brian. Of course, Brian is also an alderman now with the Port of Spain Corporation. But it occurred to me that he sent a story to me recently that I didn't read, and I immediately opened it.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had come out and said that. I really didn't. Thanks for that information, Mr. Billy. I will now read the article in its entirety. He sent it.
You know, that is what one of our good news spoke about last week, right? It's the
8 minutes.
It took a little time.
Yeah.
Caller, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning to Charles. Congrats.
Thank you.
Wendell Richard.
Morning.
Richard,
Morning.
You explain
Yeah.
something for me because this is more legal than anything else. If I have a vehicle, I paid my insurance for the vehicle, right? My name and the vehicle is insured. And I give my brother, who has a valid driver's permit, the car to drive, and police should stop him in a roadblock and me. Could they charge him for driving without insurance because the vehicle is not in his name?
No. It's the vehicle that is
No.
insured, not the person.
Yeah, because insurance, you don't insure the person.
Yeah.
And
No.
something that was really based on thing, and I think someone said that a friend of mine said that the thing that doesn't have insurance. Right?
No.
That it has to be in his name, that's not true.
Of course not.
The insurance policy itself it says that you're authorized to let anybody who is over 25 and who's had their license for more than 3 years, I think that's what it would say.
2 years.
It's 2 years.
Yeah.
Is authorized to drive your vehicle. So the insurance policy actually covers it. So that would be a strange, if somebody got a ticket like that, that's a very strange and stupid ticket, and they should absolutely fight it.
Yeah, fight it.
Well, who would give a ticket like that in the first place?
I can't think of who would.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks very much. What's the policeman name in St. Anyhow.
Yeah, I can see you doing that.
Yes.
No, but seriously, I mean,
unless
and even if the person is under 25 and they could be named on the insurance certificate. You know what I mean? But I can't see how anybody giving a ticket that because they take out the insurance and it's insured to Richard Raghubar Singh. You understand? Yeah. The insurance is in Richard Raghubar Singh, name, the vehicle number, blah blah blah. Once the person driving is over 25 and driving for more than 2 years, then it's not your business that the name not on the insurance thing. It's the car that's covered.
Yeah, somebody who might be able to help you out with that. Lincoln, good morning.
Good morning. And you all are correct. But you all are only going through the scenario of if they are over 25 and driving for more than 2 years. If they are not over 25 and driving for more than 2 years, that would qualify as you not having insurance.
Right. We said that.
Yeah.
Right? And you ask who would give a ticket like that? Alexander would give a ticket like that.
Boy, behave yourself.
Alexander
is not a policeman.
Yeah.
Alexander is not a policeman. Yes, Alexander the Great. Not Alexander, you're great.
We are going for the news. We will be back with that one.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio and Guile Caribbean TV for Monday, the 12th of January. Hope you had a good weekend, everybody, and welcome. More than 50,000 voters in Tobago will go to the polls today in the Tobago House of Assembly election. The Tobago People's Party, led by Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, held an island-wide rally from Shaw Park and traveled across the island. Deputy Chief Secretary Dr. Faith Brebner says the party is campaigning on its development blueprint and its record over the last 4 years. Meanwhile, the PNM staged a motorcade and met voters face-to-face. Tobago Council leader Ansel Dennis says unemployment and the decline of key sectors show the island needs change. Smaller parties, including the IDA and Unity of the People, are also contesting seats as voters decide Tobago's future today. Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar has rejected claims that higher road traffic fines are being used to raise revenue. She says police data show that under the previous PNM government, more than $600 million in tickets were issued and over $400 million collected under the demerit points system between 2020 and 2025. Persad Bissessar says her government removed most demerit points and is focused on restoring law and order, not raising money. Transport Minister Eli Zakor says stricter enforcement should lead to fewer violations, fewer accidents, and ultimately less revenue from fines. One of Trinidad and Tobago's major newspapers has come to an end. Newsday has published its final edition after more than 32 years in circulation. Its publisher, Daily News Limited, has applied to the High Court to wind up the company. Managing Director Grant Taylor says a perfect storm of rising costs, falling advertising revenue, and declining print readership forced the closure. He said 40% of readers stopped buying the paper after its price rose to $3, while print advertising has fallen by 75% over the past decade. A full staff meeting is scheduled for today as the company begins its closure process. The state has paid more than $16 million in medical negligence settlements over the past decade. Documents obtained under the Freedom of Information Act show that 61 cases were settled between 2015 and 2024 by the country's regional health authorities. Those RHAs, which run public hospitals, also spent more than $37 million on legal fees between 2015 and 2021. Defending similar claims. Under current rules, the RHAs, not individual doctors, are financially responsible for negligence cases, and settlements do not mean liability was admitted. Recent cases include payouts over injuries and deaths linked to childbirth and surgery at major public hospitals. Several other medical negligence cases are still before the courts. An outbreak of chickenpox has been confirmed at the maximum security prison. The prison service says 72 inmates and 7 prison officers have contracted the virus over the past 2 months. The first case was detected on November 11th, and health authorities were brought in immediately to manage the situation. At present, 29 inmates remain in isolation, while 43 have recovered and returned to the general prison population. 7 officers are currently on sick leave. The prison service says the outbreak is contained at the maximum security prison only, with no cases reported at other facilities. Enhanced sanitization, medical screening, quarantine, and protective equipment for officers are all in place as health officials continue to monitor the situation. Finally, Iran is warning it will retaliate if attacked by the United States as deadly protests continue across the country. Demonstrations, sparked by soaring inflation, have spread to more than 100 cities, with calls now growing for an end to clerical rule. Doctors told the BBC that more than 100 bodies were brought to 2 hospitals over 2 days, with the true death toll feared to be much higher. The U.S. has threatened action over the killings, while Iran says any attack would make U.S. and Israeli targets in the region legitimate targets. Security forces have intensified crackdowns, and over 2,500 people have been arrested since the protests began. And that's news at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Hey you, yes you, I'm talking to you. So you think I can sing, huh? Well, then be part of our Carnival Karaoke. You know what? I don't like that name. Let's call it Carnival Karaoke. Carnival Karaoke. We'll call it karaoke. Yeah, so you can be part of our Carnival Karaoke on the Breakfast Show on New Era TT Radio. Yep, it's happening Monday to Friday at 7:50 a.m. starting Monday the 19th of January, and all you have to do is sing a verse and a chorus of your favorite calypso, soca, chutney, old or new. Just sing it good, and you could be our karaoke singer, our champion for 2026. We're taking 2 contestants every day, and we're choosing one winner whose name will go into the championship box. And on Carnival Friday, the 13th of February, we'll have a grand draw for the karaoke champion on the Breakfast Show. The first ever prizes. Well, don't worry about that. You'll get something. Just come and sing and be part of our Carnival Karaoke on the Breakfast Show and New Era TT Radio. Sing, the man, sing.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Breakfast Show on New Era TT Radio. It's now 10 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. So all those people who are supposed to be at work for 8 o'clock, if you're not there as yet, you're late. So get a move on. And I hope that you all are not habitual latecomers. You know, there are some people who, for some reason, just don't like to reach work on time or early. Yeah. Well, I don't know how some people do it. But as we go forward in this hour, I'm sorry, Richard dropped off again. We have our Carnival Karaoke that starts next week, Monday. So you have an entire week to start to practice your song. You need to sing a verse and a chorus of your song. It could be a new calypso, soca, chutney, you know, just sing it, new or old, right? Yeah, your choice is yours. One that you know, right? And from next week, Monday, we'll listen to it. Is that right now? Yeah, verse and a chorus. A verse and a chorus. Nobody else sing the whole song because you know some calypso, something long. So a verse and a chorus. That is enough time for Wendell to give you a mark. So we are taking 2 contestants every day, and we are choosing one, and that person your name will go into the karaoke pool. And Carnival Friday, we will definitely choose a winner, and that will be our karaoke champion. And we have a couple hampers that we have gotten so far. And we're looking for some other things in between there. And as he had said, what about the price? You're going to get something. So just practice. Get yourself in a gear. Next week, Monday, get ready to sing. All right? We want you to sing. Be part of our breakfast show carnival promotion.
All right.
I
guess
there
was something else I wanted to raise. Anyway, there's so much, just so the news on Venezuela US thing all of a sudden just dissipates.
Yeah, it just out there face.
You've heard nothing really this weekend concerning anything that's happening in Venezuela. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I am very interested in fact, what is happening on the ground there. What's happening with the people there, how they are. You get to know kind of external reports and videos coming out, but you're not getting much of what is the people on the ground are going through and what they're feeling, what it's like in the country.
Yeah, well, I saw a report. I don't know how credible it is.
I played a video with one of the guys from Venezuela who spoke about it.
When you played it yourself?
Yes, on this program.
Yes, you did. But I think I saw over the weekend a warning, I don't know how credible it is, coming out of America to American citizens in Venezuela who are being stopped and, of course, I don't know, ill-treated or whatever by Venezuelan people in Venezuela. I don't know how credible that report is. People being stopped at roadblocks and whatnot, and they're asked for their identification, and if they're U.S. citizens, then they're treated a particular way. I don't know how credible that is, but I saw that coming out in an article in the United States. Actually, I don't know how true it is, but we'll see.
But on the good news front, I did go to I did have a fairly positive experience in that I went to the National Insurance Board in Arima to really get an NIS number for somebody. So I had to have an authorization letter and stuff because I was submitting the forms for them and stuff like that. Well, so it was for Karen. So I went. It was about 1:30, right? So I said, okay, I'm going. And I said, there'll be nobody in the National Insurance Board now. This is my mindset, right? There's going to be nobody. I just drop in these forms and they'll give me a number and that is it. 5 minutes are out. That's my imagination at work. Of course, so I entered the National Insurance Board office to see a set of people sit up inside and all these seats taken up basically. I was so startled and I got nightmare visions of being back at the elections and boundaries. Where you had to wait 3 hours or 4 hours, that's your day. And I said, oh my God, don't tell me this is another elections and boundaries nightmare. And I'm going to have to be here for hours and hours and hours because I saw people sitting there. So I just said, hi, good afternoon. And then I turned to the guard and I said, look, I just came to get an NI. You're trying to make your thing sound very brief. I just came to get a number for somebody. I have the authorization letter. I said, yes, I do. He said, okay, you got to take a number. And it's just like Scotiabank. It's like the same thing from Scotiabank. If you've been to Scotiabank recently.
When 811 at counter number so and so. So it goes.
Exactly that. And they also have the little machine to get the number. Right. You have to go scroll this and do this.
Yes.
So the guard did it. And he said, take this number. I said, excuse me, how long this wait is going to be? He said, not that long. So I said, okay. So I said, okay, let me go out. But now there were no seats inside, so I said, let me go outside. So I go outside and I'm playing one of these kind of word games on my phone just to take up the time. And I'm studying. But you're kind of conflicted. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? So I'm outside in the seats now, but you can't really. So I'm asking the person now, somebody else is sitting on the outside. I said, excuse me, do you hear when they're calling the numbers from inside? Outside here? Person look at me as if I dotish. No. No. I said, no, I just thought maybe, no, if you want to hear the numbers, you have to go back inside, sir. Thank you for your
Don't
assistance.
tell me to go back inside your number call,
No, I said thank you for your assistance. Then I said, let me see if I can hear you. I wouldn't hear the number, but you can hear when that automatic voice comes on. Numbers.
Yeah.
So you could kind of hear it. So every time I hear the number call, I would be going back and poking in the head. See what number on the board.
You torture yourself.
So eventually I got through?
But eventually I did because at a certain point, you're thinking, should I leave? Should I go? But there's a certain point after you have invested time, that is no longer an option. You have invested too much time. So this is it.
You had to go through the motion.
This is it. I'm going through. So I got to that point. But the guard was right. It wasn't horribly long.
Mm-hmm.
And the process was pretty quick and pretty efficient. I mean, the lady I dealt with was, pretty quick. She just had one issue on the form that I had to deal with, and that was it. And she said, okay, hold on. And when I was actually being served, it didn't take more than 5-10 minutes. And then you get the card and everything. And
Okay.
so I said, it was pretty efficient, in terms of that.
All right. Where's the NIB office in Arima?
On the same, it's on the corners if you're heading to buy Castro's, but on the other corner.
Oh, okay.
You know the building now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's NIB.
Okay.
All right. Notifications on your phone real loud.
It's my phone,
Yeah. So let's take a couple calls before we leave now. Caller, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Mrs. R.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. R.
Morning, honey bunny. Morning, honey bunny. Listen to you. I say you want some bull pistol, the other you get for true, What you doing outside running back and forth, peeping and stuff? You're stressing out already. Stress people, man. Anyhow, that being said, I want to say, that calypso, if I have to comment publicly, that calypso that you composed for 2026 is quite good. I will not support it in any sense, however, but I know you will get the support because they will pick anything they'll pick anything more or less that that throw them. So I know you inside for sure if you were to enter a tent. But good job, Sir Charles. I find it quite nice.
Thanks
As
much.
the vendor said, it may not be factual at all. I don't know if the vendor said that, so let me don't quote them.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, somebody said that probably. I think they didn't chat us, but anyhow, the point is that it's quite a good title. You will get some good marks, but because I am pro,
Yes. I understand.
I will never support that.
I understand that. And I know a lot of people like yourself.
Now,
I know.
Take off our hat. Yes, it's
Thanks.
quite good.
Yeah, no problem. I understand.
Good job. Okay, everybody, bye.
Bye.
And the traffic. Oh God,
Yeah.
who is responsible for the traffic? The lights.
Leave earlier. You have to leave home earlier.
We have so much lights to endure before we reach the town. Get rid of these lights. Who is listening? OMG. All right, so
And
bye.
I've always been a proponent of that it should build all flyovers at the same time. All flyovers that need to be built on the east-west corridor should be built at the same time.
Yeah.
Different contractors doing it at the same time. Let us just go through it and get it done. That's my philosophy on that. So build the one by Macoya, build the one by Golden Grove, build the one by O'Mara, and they need something by Tumpuna Road.
Yeah, I don't know what they could do about that.
I don't know what they could do that. I mean, ultimately, a flyover is the best because the traffic is always ridiculous.
Yeah. But I think they have plans. They had plans to do that one because remember there was a court matter with the bar that was right across the road there.
That was on that Jack Warner.
Yeah.
And I was there. I don't know what I was for, but I was Jack Warner. That's how long ago that was.
Yeah.
When Foster Cummings was first going up for that area, when he won, and we had interviewed him, he had said, yes, they're going to deal with that problem. 5 years passed. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
I suppose that's why you're in opposition now.
Well, I guess so. And the current MP.
5 years passed and nothing happened over there. Nothing happened. Zero.
Richard, just going back to the article that you was reading before the 7 o'clock news, because I know you didn't really go through that in the whole thing, but it really talked about this whole diversification thing that we've been talking about for so much years in this country. I don't know when we would really have a serious push drive towards it, where whoever be the government or government try and get the entire population on board with some of these things that needs to take place. Because clearly, you look where we are right now. We're still talking diversification that they're probably talking for about 50 years now. How long are they talking that, Wendell?
Diversification.
Yeah. Well, some economists say that we are partially diversified in terms of our manufacturing, non-energy sector. But in terms of real diversification as a government policy, they talk it, but they don't do it. And I've always had that problem under the stewardship of Colin Imber as Minister of Finance. Every budget that he did, there was nothing, to me, this is my opinion, serious enough gearing the country towards diversification. It was always like we were marking time for energy rents to go up.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that what we've all been doing over the years? Just hoping that the energy sector
prices go up.
Yeah.
And so they've never seriously, in my opinion, and I assume in some economists' opinions, they never seriously dealt with this issue. A simple low-hanging fruit like tourism. What tourism happens in Trinidad and Tobago happens in spite of the actions of governments that have ruled us. And there is so much, there's so many, because I watch so many of those visitors that come to Trinidad and Tobago, not as part of any approach by any agency, they're just visiting and ignoring whatever warnings they get from their respective country about that it's not safe and stuff. And because you start watching one or two, a lot of them come into my feed now. And there's so many of them are so positive. Some saying it's the best Caribbean island they've been to in terms of the people and the food. They find Trinidadians and Tobagoans so friendly in comparison to the other islands. They find we are the friendliest and we go out of our way, to just help people and do stuff. There's so many positive things that come out of a tourist's experience in Trinidad and Tobago. And yet we're not capitalizing on it. We're not building more hotel rooms, because hotel rooms are a big part of it. Even in Tobago, look how we botched the whole Sandals thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it got botched by the politics. Let's not kid ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the different views on how to do it. But it ends up not getting done. And I know this, was it this government that says they're going to try and reapproach Sandals? Was it this government?
No, I didn't hear that.
The
reapproach was done just before the elections by the PNM. Remember, they said they had reopened talks with them, and they hope, and that's when Dr. Rowley, I think was it at the opening of the airport, when he challenged Farley and them to sit down, Farley and Watson Duke and them sit down with the government and make sure that it happens this time.
Right. So I don't know if the UNC is minded to go down that direction, but you need a big anchor like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when malls are opening, they always want a good main anchor to the mall that will get people there beyond the other stores. But you like a big anchor to be there, an anchor that says, yes, come to this mall.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the same thing with Tobago. You need some big name. And of course, Sandals, there's no bigger name in Caribbean hotels than Sandals.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that's bigger.
Guys, you have a caller there. Caller, good morning.
Yeah. And well, interesting topic. And I know the local content policy is there. And we have seen a lot of manufacturing going on. And, the cocoa has blossomed up. But like one of the callers said, the destruction of the garment industry and stuff. But that local content policy and not the enactment of it is that we are tied in to all these international laws and stuff that guarantee unfair trade practices if you don't allow foreign companies to access their shelves and things. They could be taken to the World Trade thing and held. I think that's why all these, we saw it in education, where all these Hogwarts University diplomas came out of the mill challenging and challenging UV, UTT and all these kind of things. So, and our resources had to pay to go there. And those are the kind of things. We couldn't even protect our own education institutions and the quality of the education mill because of these signing on the policies. Now, how you do that is one of the biggest tricky questions that we have to resolve. Some people say you have to develop the education system so people will support local and leave the, so you wouldn't have to end up in World Trade Court and all these kind of things. But generally, the political elites have left that to flounder. And one of the biggest things is during the time with the Chinese, and that is when manufacturers, because the cultural industry had pushed for the local content to go forward, the manufacturing and the construction industry left it alone. But when the Chinese construction companies came in, they then started to support a quota of local content. So the within the activism on the ground, people were not united around a local content. And there has been a lot of, I think the lady, what's her name, the fashion, she did some projects. You may have seen it in Milamasi or Hilo or something, where they were pushing local content. She had a little design showing off. So I think it's, a local content policy, but slowly but surely we are seeing things, but you have to have confidence in how you support local. And we've seen it in the carnival now, where everything, they don't want mass camp, they don't making anything here, wire benders losing, and people are pushing, getting the imports from China, and rather than developing, when we had mass camp, so you don't make anything local, slightly minimum. And actually, there's interesting stories going on in the carnival where some people said, I wouldn't sponsor your band because we want local content. But when they show them the financials of thing, they backed off and they allowed them to do and bring in the importations rather than saying, so it's all these things. And then here comes subsidies. Well, how do you subsidize local content when you're being competed, when I'm in competition with something coming cheaper
from outside.
Faster in. So there's all these kind of conversations that we are not having, and we don't have the confidence to have because we just like cheaper than. But if you want local, one thing it will be we have to subsidize to bring down the cost because local is always generally more expensive.
Okay. Thanks very much, Dean. And that is a serious part of the conversation there that you really don't hear much taking place. But because everything that is coming in from some other space, people are telling you, well, I could get this from so-and-so, but it costs me plenty cheaper than if I decide to use local manufacturers to get it done. How do we balance something like that?
I mean, it's, there's a word that Dean was talking about that Dean mentioned, and I think it's a very important word, confidence. Confidence in yourself, confidence in your self-worth as a country is an important thing. And, and it's also an important economic factor. How confident are you in the economy? Because the more confident people are, the more people spend or are willing to invest. And consumer spending is a big part of economic activity in any country, right? So the question then is, how confident are Trinidadians and Tobagoans feeling right now about life in Trinidad and Tobago? And that, in a sense, starts to give you a certain degree of the economic picture. Which is why I think the revitalization project is important in kind of reinstilling that kind of confidence in what we can do as a country. Because there's a thing about politics and the population. And politicians talk all the time. But what really invests people in the confidence and future of a country is that they see that politicians talk and are actually doing stuff that is happening, and they can visually see it happening before their very eyes. And it reminds me of that video that I'd watched about Ethiopia and Addis Ababa, where they interviewed young people, and as I said, that city has transformed. And they interviewed some of the young people, and they were saying that it was the one time that they could actually see where politicians were saying what they meant. And they were seeing things happening, and they were seeing it transforming before their very eyes. In fact, some people were saying that sometimes you're driving into the city and things keep changing. It just keeps changing because it keeps, roads keep widening, communities get moved. Now, of course, sometimes it's a little controversial because you're moving communities and they're moving them to a distance away from the city in terms of relocating communities where they needed land to redevelop and move the city forward. But they're very focused on where they're going. And that in itself instills a certain confidence
so you
in
limit
the
that
population. Even though Ethiopians tend to be very confident, they're always kind of like stushed to the rest of Africa in a kind of way, in my opinion. Because, of course, they were never colonized. And so they always feel a little bit, we were the one country that was not colonized. And I think they have that kind of attitude in Ethiopia. I mean, people who are experts on that could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe so. They were never colonized.
Well, we have people in Ethiopia listening to us now, right now.
Yeah, we
so
do.
Ethiopians are very much, sometimes I think the rest of Africa think they're very stush, what we would call stush, in terms of how they view the rest of Africa, because they were never a colony. And so you have all of that playing into it, but it plays into that issue of confidence.
Right,
and that's why I say it comes back to how confident are we as Trinidadians and Tobagonians in ourselves.
All right, hold the thought right there, Richard. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Excuse the voice. Under the weather here, hoping I could drink.
You're getting the cold.
I had it since the whole of last week. Down with her. And it looked like it lasted another week. And like my voice not going to be good for this karaoke or the karaoke or the hell are they calling it.
Don't remind you have a whole month.
Richard, it's Richard already called to trouble, Richard, Richard, you hearing me?
You listening?
Yeah, regrettably, yes.
You realize, you don't realize that you have joined the group. You have got to the senior citizens group, though. You have a lot of those things to experience.
But the NIS wasn't to me.
Oh, but at least when you go there and you see the state of those different places, don't worry, it happens because there you'll find a lot more senior citizens there than, other people who might be there for other stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, you had a mix of people there who obviously dealing with different issues.
All right. But I just wanted to say, I see my husband going again this morning, but he say he's not one going no 5 o'clock there or from the night before. So I hope he gets through today, because he might have a lot of days to keep going back. Because I listened to our clip with Rambles, and as he said, people from 5 o'clock one evening into the next morning waiting for a place that open 8 o'clock. What a riot of orders and different things you have to encounter when the office is open. It is so ridiculous. That should not happen. And according to him, he was one had to do that. Well, he ain't doing it. And the police would have to come for him, looking to see what infractions he would create. Because, I mean, come on. That ought not to be encouraged. And the authorities have to do better. They create a situation that will cause that rush. So they have to put things in place to avoid such nonsense. And people stop doing it. And making you now have to compete with one another to see how earlier you could get in these places. Stop the nonsense. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much, Lena.
I think I saw an article too over the weekend where of the $600 million or so in fines that were issued, people only paid $400 million of it. So over $200 million of the fines have not been paid.
I plenty people to lock up.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna get worse.
I plenty people going to get locked up there.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna get worse.
Wow. All right, well, people, I think that's where we can leave it for today, right?
Yeah, of course. Folks have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
My sister was just telling me that in the US, it really is on your date of birth. They do the renewal.
Yeah.
For licenses. But in Trinidad, it's not. It's on date of issue.
Date of issue, yeah.
Yeah, so we don't use your date of birth as the fact. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's it. So this is where we wrap up the breakfast show. Of course, wherever you are across the planet that you are watching us, we thank you very much for joining us this morning because we know you have choices and we're glad that you chose us. So thank you for that. New Era TT Radio continues on newerattradio.com and New Era TT Radio on TuneIn, so you can continue to listen to the wonderful content throughout the day. Of course, we'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning, which will be Tuesday. So, the week has begun, but that should not be a problem because we're here to take it. We'll be discussing more and more what's going on. Of course, tomorrow we'll be discussing results of the THA elections and what would transpire as people go to the polls today. Would it have been a litmus test against the UNC in terms of their performance thus far? Or will it be a completely different dynamic because it's Tobago? We'll find out tonight, and we'll be discussing that tomorrow. And Wendell will be working on a guest for us tomorrow to discuss the issues of Tobago.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Kelvin.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you speak to somebody who's an analyst now?
Well, no, I don't have any of the analyst numbers. You'll have those.
Then you're going to speak to Kelvin Morris. Is Morris you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
We're going to speak to him. We got to speak to somebody from the other side.
Well, I don't
Rather than speaking to an analyst who can have an overview.
Okay. So send the analyst numbers and I will reach out to them.
Well, I don't have them, so work
So
on it.
Charles.
All the people who know all
I'll
the
see if I find one somehow.
Don't worry, Mr. Charles. He have enough people who could send him all them numbers. You know how much toilet walls his number on? Everybody have it.
Yes. Yeah, sure. No, I will. I mean, if I get the numbers, I'll try. But Sir Charles, they might prefer to hear from you.
Why you don't feel that? Anyhow. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Whichever way, we're trying to see if we get somebody, right?
Bye-bye, guys.
All right, have a fantastic day, people. Whatever you do, and remember to put a smile on your face. Laugh and smile. It's great for your health. Have a fantastic day, whatever you do. And, of course, you have been watching The Breakfast Show coming to you live out of TNT.
Yeah.